wellness problems develop with people living on a diet of refined carbohydrates, saturated fats, overcooked foods, denatured protein, the overcooked foods. Yeah, Branson, I'll tell you what, really, some good advice. Spend a little extra, make sure a room or a cabin has a kitchen, and feed your family there so you know what they're eating. You don't want any deep fried hash browns. You don't want food that is cooked so bad that it's mush on the plate. And I couldn't believe how they roll everything in like a cornmeal catfish fry. Catfish! Catfish! I mean, come on. Catfish. Yuck. They scavenge off the bottom of the lake. They're, dirty fish. You don't want to eat tilapia, and you don't want to eat catfish. Okay, so, back to what Dr. Jensen talked about. Not enough sane people to take care of the insane. He said that in 1950. In 1970, we, had the Prozac. Prozac made its way. Number one prescriptions written, majority of prescriptions, antidepressants. But, right here, you want to live on white sugar, you want to live on white flour, you want to live on oils, corn oil, canola. Hey, you know what? I don't advocate canola oil. Canola oil comes from the rapeseed. Look up the rapeseed, R-A-P-E, rapeseed. Highly poisonous, toxic. I'm not a fan of canola. Yeah, rapeseed. Yeah, rapeseed. No thanks. No thanks. Yeah, so, canola oil is made from the rapeseed. Olive oil, good Italian girl here. Raised on olive oil, raised on butter. Yep, that's, not changing. Okay, so if you want to live on the diet of refined carbohydrates, saturated fats, overcooked, denatured proteins, it makes you wonder, how many people really are genetically insane. They're not. They're not. If you're eating a diet like this, if you can't give any nutrients to your food, any nutrients into your body, your brain can't function. The nervous system can't function. The bloodstream is not carrying vital, life-giving nutrients to every organ in the body. The blood that passes through your thyroid right now will pass through your thyroid again. And if there's no nutrition in it now, there's not going to be in a half an hour when it cycles back through again. So it is really, really important to pay attention to what you're eating. A lot of people may not really be the labeling of the medical field of insane or dysfunctional behavior. It's simply due to the fact that they can't think straight because their blood sugar levels are out of whack and the brain is starved for nutrition. In the documentary Supersize Me, a school for troubled teens was shown, where the teens are calmer because they are being fed a high-quality diet. Research on the link between nutrition and mental ability has been around for a long time. Michael Lesser testified before the Senate Select Committee on Nutrition and Human Needs in the 70s. And he said 70% of all previously uncontrollable, 70% of uncontrollable schizophrenics showed improvement when they were put on a diet to counter hypoglycemia. They were the whole B complex was added, whole grains, organic, naturally raised, meat, quality proteins, quality vegetables, quality fruits, supplements. If we nourish the mind, we need a diet that avoids the refined foods. In severe cases, low glycemic carbohydrates. This includes the low glycemic carbohydrates would be like brown rice, your oats. They take a little longer to digest. All simple sugars, refined grains, fruit, juices, alcohol, coffee. In severe cases, all grains and sugary fruits should also be eliminated. The diet should consist of lots of vegetables, primarily non-starchy. So, rule of thumb, starchy vegetables grow beneath the ground, except for peas and corn. So, carrots have a higher sugar level. Potatoes have a higher sugar level. You can eat of a shallot, you can eat the top part of the onion. So remember that your vegetables that are higher in starch and convert to sugar are the ones that grow beneath the ground, and the ones that are in with that category is peas and corn, because peas and corn are real high in sugar. So back to a diet for mental illness needs to consist of, non-starchy vegetables, quality lean meats and fish, whole grains, and some fruit. Refined and processed oils and fats need to also be avoided, including shortening, margarine, hydrogenated oils, butter, olive oil, flaxseed oil, and various cold-pressed oils should be used instead. Meals should be small and frequent. So, you've heard over the years of people who, like hypoglycemics, who will eat 6 small meals throughout the days. Just a little something every couple of hours.
I know quite a few people that are like that.
Yeah, and that stabilizes that blood sugar. B-complex, we have a wonderful product called NutriCalm. And that also, NutriCalm is a complete B-complex. It's also in a base of vitamin C, and it's in a base of herbs as well. Super omega-3, DHA, super algae, spirulina, free amino acids. Those are what you need to supply the neurotransmitters for proper functioning. To balance blood sugar and take away cravings for sugar and coffee, licorice root is really good to use. But licorice root cannot be used with people with hypertension, blood pressure. If you've got a cholesterol problem with blood pressure, it's okay. But if you have hypertension, don't use licorice root. There are blood sugar formulas. The HYA is excellent for that. Other nutrients, specific supplements that help with depression, for the anxiety, muscle tension, magnesium, lobelia, kava is used. If the person is anxious, nervous, feels exhausted, and can't sleep, they need to support their adrenal glands. There's a great product called Adrenal Support, where one of them twice a day would be sufficient. Nervous fatigue formula, 2 of those twice a day is an excellent one for people who have a lot of anxiety. We have a new product called Anxious Less. 1 or 2 of those in 20-30 minutes, you are so calm and relaxed internally that it feels like you ate a Valium. It's called for real. I mean, they're expensive, but wow, it's incredible. They just chill. It is really, really a chill pill. It's called Anxious Less, LESS, Anxious Less. And you can find that on kingdomofhealing.com. For people who feel cold all the time, tired, depressed, low sex drive, you need to look at the thyroid. Thyroid Activator is an excellent product, 1 of those twice a day. Liquid Dulse, extremely high in natural occurring iodine. Thyroid Support, That's very helpful for people who have really heavy, heavy feelings of sadness and depression. Mood Elevator is also, I'd mentioned that's also another excellent product for depression. There are herbs that have a reputation for feeding and strengthening the brain function. One of them is Gotu Kola. You've heard of a memory like an elephant. Well, the elephant searches out Gotu Kola, makes 2 to 3 journeys a year, and what they do is the natural thinning out of them by eating the plant and the roots, and what that allows is for that plant to remain prolific. So elephants they'll go over mountains to get to areas where Gotu Kola grows. Elephants will walk up a mountain, but when the elephants come down the mountain, they do not walk down a mountain. Elephants sit down, they turn around, and they scooch themselves down a mountain. And the reason that they do that is they are so top heavy. There's no way with the gravity and them being so top heavy that an elephant can walk down a mountain.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but what they do is they do that journey 2 to 3 times a year. They search out the Gotu Kola, and memory like an elephant.
Wow.
Yeah, Gotu Kola. Ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo biloba. The ginkgo trees that grow all over China. Ginkgo trees, ginkgo is really good for the brain as an antioxidant, protects brain tissue and degenerative conditions of the brain. But the ginkgo trees are planted all over because of the ability for them to absorb so much of the toxins in the air. So it's like an air filter. It absorbs all of that. And, the United States needs to be planting lots and lots of ginkgo trees all over. One cool thing that I read at the beginning of the summer is that there are some cities that have passed legislation with their city council that any trees that need to be replanted in their cities will be trees and bushes that bear fruit, which is wonderful because we have so much homelessness and we have so many hungry people, and it's so sad we have so many hungry children trying to go to sleep. I mean, how well do you sleep when you're hungry? You don't. You can't sleep. So I think that's amazing. I think it's wonderful, and I don't know why it wasn't done everywhere and why it was not done years ago, because prior to 1960, before we had any types of programs to help our poor in the United States, look at the orphanages that we had. Look at all of the orphanages where parents, they could not take care of their children. They brought them to orphanages. The poverty was horrific then, and and it is like Jesus said, we're always going to have the poor. We're always going to have the poor. But planting trees that bear fruit, I think that's wonderful, and I don't know why it wasn't done a long time ago. Another thing that can be used is a product called Mind Max. Mind Max, Brain Protex. Those are very, very good for the deterioration of brain cells. Alcohol deteriorates brain cells. So in using something to help rebuild the tissue and give the fats that are needed is the lecithin, ginkgo biloba, Gotu Kola, lecithin, and antioxidants. Like we have a product called Tygo, where we have the Super Orac, which is the Super Orac has the turmeric, in it, which is actually the active property of turmeric, is curcumin, and curcumin, excuse me.